Merry Christmas! Welcome to the Holiday Husk Show!
Oh my gosh.
I shouldn't put my hands up because it kind of like shows the limits of our setup. Look at this. See, my hands get cut off.
It's fine. I have the compulsion.
What if I do this? Now you can't tell my hands cut off.
I have the compulsion to check my mic every single time we start because of all the times I've forgotten in the past.
Welcome to the Holiday Husk Show. The Holiday Husk Show is, we do it once a year where we play a whole bunch of garbage.
Non-religious, non-denominational, non-racial.
Endless trash!
Holiday special. I'm literally dressed like anyone who's seen the South Park Christmas special, the first with Mr. Hanky, will know. Anyone who remembers it will know that I look exactly like the guy that comes in. We will now do this non-religious special. Happy, happy, happy. Everybody's happy. And it's literally just a bunch of kids wearing black turtlenecks. I think it is Philip Glass. Yeah, it is Philip Glass.
This is some good coffee.
Yeah, I know. I look like I work for Apple in any capacity.
Yeah, you do. Actually.
I don't own a single Apple product.
I've had water deep in my left ear all day long. As soon as Dev started talking, I started messing with my equilibrium and started writing out inside my head. Thanks, Dev. Your loud, intentionally annoying voice scared me. Yeah! Also, Sargon. Okay, so before we start, Merry Christmas. And Hassan and Vosh both got banned off of the internets.
For saying
off
what
of Twitch.
a Ritz is.
And so Sargon's like, I'm just going to troll by just starting my own channel, just streaming on there. And so he did. And he had like 20 viewers for like an hour or so. Yeah. And then I did like a big ass at everyone in his server saying that Sargon had turned into a bathtub streamer. And like everyone flooded in.
You mean a hot tub streamer?
Yeah. And everyone just started flooding in. And it's like, wow, that's fucking hilarious. Like, wow. Where's the Sargon hot tub?
Actually, okay, so I was in a server, a Twitch server today where it really flooded.
A Twitch server? You mean a
channel? Sorry.
Oh, channel. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Twitch channel. That it got like super flooded with people.
Vosh is banned permanently. No, Vosh is permanently. Hassan's only a week. Okay, so
yeah,
see all these recent games that have been installed. We got Santa's Workshop.
So like a puzzle-ish game. This is another puzzle game.
Rock, look over.
Okay, sorry.
Orange Santa, yes. Sakura Santa, Santa Run, Santa in Search of Toys, Yuletide Legends, Who Framed Santa Claus,
Santa's Big Sack.
Wink. Oh God. What's that one there?
Santa's Big Adventures.
Santa Rockstar HD.
That one doesn't work, unfortunately.
Strip Blackjack Santa Babe.
We would get voshed. That's the new verb.
And those are non-Christmas.
Those are just
okay. So
I've
what are
gone
we playing
through
first?
these with.
Wait, isn't there more? Go that way some more. There's at least. Okay, keep going.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Christmas time.
Okay, that one.
We played that already.
It's garbage.
We played that already.
Yeah, Naughty Elves, Santa Claus, Santa Girls.
Ice Station Santa, Santa's Rampage. Xmas Shooting Scramble.
This is actually part of the Sam & Max Telltale series. It is basically a stream on its own. And because it's like a self-contained, they're investigators, like PIs. Because it's a self-contained story, we decided it's better to do it on its own.
Did we?
Yeah. It should be its own story.
Also, there's Christmas Race too.
Yeah, the sequel to Christmas Race.
We played Christmas Race 1 on the show
2 years ago.
We need to continue the trend.
Might as well.
Are we playing this one first? Hold on, wait. Turn off the music.
Oh,
it has on music. Okay. Christmas Race.
Fantastic. So I have no idea because I haven't really.
Did you even try this yet?
Not since never. All right, let's see. How does this work? How to play?
Click to turn left and release to turn right.
Oh, that's right. It was just the most simplistic.
It's a phone game.
Yeah, it's literally a phone game.
You actually got reasonably far in this when you played the first one.
Yeah.
Is there any difference between the first and second one?
Literally nothing.
It looks the exact same.
Different tracks, probably. That's it. Well,
at least move the mouse cursor off the fucking middle of the thing.
No.
For God's sake.
Dev.
You do it over there where no one can see.
Dev, how dare you? Yeah, I could probably just do a whole stream talking about like actual. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should put that. Ah!
Oh, Santa's dead.
Grab you, oh boy.
Oh boy.
You have to watch an ad.
Oh boy, is this the game? Oh, is this the game we're playing for Christmas?
I guess so.
Arthur, thanks for the sub.
Okay, so before Dev gets into his...
No, before Dave gets into his...
Fuck you, Dev.
Okay, what do you want to say?
I was segueing because it was Twitch related.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if anyone else is a fantasy fan. There's a guy, Pat
This cost me
Rothfuss.
like 25 cents, this game.
Yeah, I can tell. It's literally something you pick out of a fucking gumball machine. Yeah, it was a stream that like it basically he normally has
Oh, sorry, Artsy.
300 to 400 people, and he was over 13,000 today, and I saw people come flooding in all at once because I just refreshed the server.
You mean the page?
Sorry, server. I keep saying server for some stupid reason. I guess I had to listen to him for too long. He's very much a boomer. I mean, not as bad as Martin, but he's one of those people.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that's been harassed in the media because of the fact that he hasn't released a sequel to his book in like.
It's like George R. R. Martin, yeah.
Yeah, like George R. R. Martin, exactly.
Yeah.
And he finally did this thing where he read the prologue of the third book in this trilogy, like Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fear. Because it was huge back in the day. It was like 10 years ago. Like that book
I feel
was
like you're
super
three
popular.
tangents in. Is there a story?
The story was, has anyone else seen it? Was anyone else there? I was just wondering.
Oh, I mean, watching,
Also, the fact
watching
that
this
like,
guy's...
also watching numbers. It's really cool watching that amount of people pile in.
Oh,
your
just
stream.
like watching a stream just go up. Oh!
Because he
Drive! Okay, now listen. No, Marie, you stay right fucking there in that seat. Because I got...
Is it a slur? Well, it's not as bad as the C word.
Frosting. I have
the
a story.
CRA word.
I have a story.
Oh gosh.
I have a story.
Oh gosh.
I have a story.
I've lost my.
I have a story. I have a story. Okay, story time. This is actually the best. This is the best stream video game to do. I'm a man named Lazy. Fuck you. This is actually the best stream to do a story on. Okay, because it's literally just watching Dave click for the next 15 minutes. Because we're not playing this any more than 15 fucking minutes. Okay.
Oh, I don't even know if I'll give you 10.
Okay.
Get it on.
So, if you were here last night, you know that I might have broken a mic that was $220 that we use on this channel. And right now I'm currently
sham of a
and right now I'm currently using I'm currently wearing Dom's mic.
Dang it.
And what it was okay, so the mics that we have are called the AT Pro 70. And they are mics that are meant for musical applications that we bought back in 2015. I looked it up. It was 2015.
Okay.
And the reason that we bought them is because, one, back in 2015, you couldn't really get like dedicated streamer gear. Like, you know how nowadays there's like key lights and there's like ring lights and there's like streamer mics and there's
a whole industry that
there's a whole industry about streaming equipment. Back in 2015, none of that shit really existed. So, if you wanted to get certain mics, you had to like there were some things, but like you basically just had to get like like computer stuff, right? Computer stuff or musical stuff. And the AT Pro 70s that we use for this channel, they are musical mics primarily. And the reason that they're musical mics is because they are unidirectional mics. So what that means is this mic here it'll pick up my voice because my mouth is right here. And the mic is pointing up, but it won't pick up any sound behind it, down here. And it'll pick up less sound in the front. Most lav mics are omnidirectional. They'll pick up everything. And the reason that most lav mics are omnidirectional is because it just doesn't matter. Like if you're officiating a wedding, or you're doing a funeral, or you're a priest who's talking, you're like a congregation. If you're giving some kind of a presentation, most mics are omnidirectional because it just doesn't matter. But musician stuff is almost always unidirectional because you don't want feedback coming from wherever it is that's displaying your music, right? That's playing your music.
Purgatorial.
Now, the reason that it was a collective decision, but I agreed with it. Is the reason that we got AT Pro 70s is because back then you couldn't really get unidirectional lav mics except for the AT Pro 70, and it was mainly used for recording like drums or guitars or something like that.
Yep.
But we got it because we don't want too much echoing coming from the TV
We've already dealt
into
with
our
that
mics.
stuff back in the day. They're old lav mics.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the older lav mics, the one that I actually tried yesterday, like as an emergency, was the AT 3550. or 3350, and it was just like
Sorry, guys.
it was just like an older, cheap. Wow, nice.
Oh,
It was like an older,
new
cheaper
record.
lav mic, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good, but like they cost like $60. You know, like they're not like super expensive. The quality is great for the price, but the quality is not on par with these at all. Okay, you know what I mean? So
this game fucking sucks.
we looked into and picked up 4 of these AT Pro 70s. Now the problem with the AT Pro 70 is that it's one of these, and this cord is, I don't know, how long is it? Maybe like a meter, this cord?
Roughly.
And then it goes into a big battery pack, and then an XLR plugs into the bottom of the battery pack. So we actually, on the old coach, the molding coach, we cut holes in it to hang the battery pack off of, because there's like a belt clip on it.
And then Dom sewed straps into this one.
And then and into this new coach, we got like an old pair of jeans that were about the same color as the couch, and Dom like took strips and turned them into like straps to hang the mic off of. So like hanging here and on that side, and then 2 on the back are the 4 AT Pro 70s. Now they've been hanging around. We got them in early 2015, and now it's almost 2022. That's almost 7 years.
Yep.
All right, that's almost 7 years.
Yep.
And
I can't take this anymore.
No, keep going until the story's done.
Oh god.
This is the story stream.
Yeah, but Dev, you never shut up. I have to switch to something else.
Nope. This is the game. So I want to contain the entire story in one game, frankly, for the YouTube upload. So what ends up happening is, as we've been like unplugging and replugging the mics over the years, I've noticed that, like, and it's happened to all 4 of them, not just the one that I broke. The jack inside is getting like slightly wiggly. It's wiggly, and so we unplugged them to clean yesterday. Naomi and I in the morning, and I noticed like, oh, like the plug came out. That's no fucking good. I pulled on the XLR, and like I even hit the latch, and it still came out. Like that's not
more
fucking
than
good.
one of them had been like that, but nothing really
broke.
had happened.
Yeah. And then yesterday the mic wasn't working. I pulled it out. What the fuck? The whole plug came out of the unit.
Not just the plug. Part of the wiring came off.
Yeah.
It
and I was
broke
like,
right off.
I guess this mic's fucked. So at that point, I realized I need, obviously, to get new mics, because that one, like I could resolder it, but like they're on their way out. They're reasonably old now, and honestly, there's some quality things about them that I don't like now that we've had them for this long. I would like different mics for the show. Because now you know I could fix it too, Meldrum, but I realized like there are just certain things that I don't like about them. And I think we can get like a better quality mic that works more for our needs, that isn't a music mic.
Why would I do that?
That isn't a music mic, you know what I mean? But because there's actually like there's more dedicated and sophisticated streamer stuff out there now, right? So we could probably get something that's a bit better, right? So I start looking into it, and here is the fucking rabbit hole I've been going down for the past 5-6 hours. It's been, I think, since noon. I stopped to make dinner and stuff. So yeah, it was about 5 hours of just going down the rabbit hole of how microphones work. And oh my god, do I hate like official documentation of products for companies. They don't tell you fucking anything about like accessory compatibility. They don't tell you fucking anything about like niche use cases, or even sometimes just basic use cases. Oh my god. I'm gonna fucking rage. I'm gonna fucking rage about this. Okay, so, listen. I wrote the story down, okay, of what happened. Here we go, okay? Okay, listen. I DM'd it all to Singing Reaper, so I can just read you the DM that I sent her of the story, okay? All right. Here we go. I always start this sort of thing by seeing what other people are doing and then seeing if that works for me. That's a pretty wise thing to do, right, Dave? Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say that's a good idea to do?
Sure.
Dave's just like,
I'm just watching this guy kill himself over and over again. I'm so over this game.
Well, okay. I'll just read it off to you right now. Now listen. Oh my fucking god.
Hey, listen. Oh, wow, that was a fucking
I looked up what
relegate.
lavaliers that the other media guys use. And Jack Packard on Reddit said that they use either the ECM 44Bs or ECM 77Bs. Okay? Those are Sony mics. They're both omnidirectional mics as well. So we need unidirectional, like I said before. The 44B is the more budget model. The 77B is the more expensive model, but they're basically the same thing. And then I realized in the same set is a much more obscure mic called the 66B that is unidirectional, that will work for what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was like, oh my God, I found it. I found the mic that we need. So the 66B is not nearly as mass produced. There's no reviews of it online. There's no like comparison videos on YouTube. It's just kind of mentioned on Sony's website, and it's kind of mentioned on a few stores that sell it. Oh my God.
This is the worst possible game for me to play after just doing monetization shit for hours.
So, go ahead.
This is more interesting. Actually, I'd rather just listen to you and have this play in the background than play the fucking game.
Give it another minute, and then you go back to the game. Okay. So listen. So I'm like, man, the 66B is the mic to buy, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? I started digging into it a little bit more, and I realized there's actually a mic called the 44BC and the 77BC and the 66BC. The C at the end means that rather than the mic going down for like 3 meters and then going into like a battery pack, which is like a long cylinder, so it's actually better for us, and then going out to an XLR cable, it goes down to a proprietary Sony 4-pin that doesn't exist anywhere outside of Sony products. And I'm like, well, that seems kind of useless, doesn't it? Does that seem kind of useless? It seems kind of useless to me. But the idea is these 4 pins go into a variety of different devices. And I'm like, hey, here, Dave, go ahead. It's back. Time to go back to the game. It's up to you. I'll play the next one if you want.
It's not about the game. It's not a play of another game. Oh, who's playing? This game is literally the most boring thing. And
you can do it. Dude, I'm already halfway through the story. Don't worry. You're okay.
What kind of carpal tunnel exercises were you talking about?
I don't know.
Artsy die.
Okay.
No, so obviously not you.
Okay, so listen. The 66B is rare as fuck on various stores. The 66BC is still kind of common. It's still kind of common. You can still buy those. And it's like, well, what's the point of a 66BC? Well, you take the 66BC with its little 4-pin cable. You can plug it into a wireless battery pack, which is we might need wireless mics in the future. That's pretty good. You also plug it into a little device called the DC78. And the DC78 is literally just the same battery pack as in the wired version. Okay? So, you have your 66B, which is a mic, 3 meters of cord into a cylindrical tube that holds a battery, and then out to an XLR. Or you have your 66BC, which is the mic, 3 meters of cord, and then out to a jack. Then you have your 78, what is it? Your DC78, which is just the tube itself. So if you plug in a 66BC into a DC78, you have the exact same product as the 66B, except that it's modular. You know what I mean? Are you following me now? Okay? Okay. Same thing with the 44BC into a DC78 and a 77BC into a DC78. Do you understand what I mean? It's the exact same product, just that it's modular. It comes apart at that one point. And it costs about $10 more to get it modular because you have the option of plugging into something else, right? You know what I mean? You follow me, Dave?
So when Dave was telling me this earlier, because he asked me to be a sounding board, I was literally just cooking. I was just cooking lunch for myself. Because cooking is interesting.
Okay, so here's
can't wrangle this one.
Okay, so even though it's the exact same, start playing again. It's more than enough time. Even though
it's not going to make it more
interesting. It is the exact same 4-pin Sony proprietary connector. Even though it's the exact same fucking one on all these various objects, they're called something different on each fucking page. Okay, so I wrote this down. Okay, listen. On the 77BC's product description, it's called the Sony Hi-Rose connector. On the 66BC page, it's called the SMC94P connector. On the 44BC's page, it's called the 4-pin twist BC connector. These are all the same fucking connectors, but they all have different names. For some fucking reason, it looks the same, it plugs into the same things on like all these accessories work with this product. On all those pages and all the stores, they all list the same accessories. So it seems like it's just a different names for each, it's the same standard, it's the same connector. They just call it something different each time because fuck me, okay? So I'm out here spending hours looking up like technical documents and looking at various storefronts and contacting Sony to try and figure out all this stuff to see,
Sony
see
never
what
responds.
works.
Sony will never respond.
I talked to somebody at Sony.
Oh, really?
I did talk to somebody.
But
at
they
Sony.
gave you some bullshit answer, right?
Oh, you're gonna love what the answer they gave me was, dude.
What?
I didn't tell you this part of the story.
Oh,
Okay.
God, there's something I didn't know about.
Okay. So I talked to. Here's something that I realized. Okay. In the manual, in the PDF for the DC78, it says compatible with all Sony Hi-Res connections. I'm like, okay, so it'll work with the 66 BC. But then it also says compatible with the 44 BC, the 77 BC, the 88 BC. It doesn't say the 66 BC, the one that I need it for. And then I'm just thinking like, okay, well, the 66 BC is a niche product. It's more of like it's not really mass manufactured. Maybe they just didn't include it in their own technical documents because, you know, I've seen companies do that before, you know, where like a niche use case gets left out of the
like what though?
Of the, well, like Wirecast, for example. Like Wirecast blurring shots, it's not in any of the instructional manuals.
You mean it's like video game companies that have modders that know more about video games than them?
I guess, yeah. But yeah, like a whole bunch of companies will just like leave out really important shit because they're just like, oh, whatever. Who needs to know about this functionality? You know, happens all the time. Okay, all the time. Okay. So I finally get a hold of a Sony help guy. Okay. And the Sony help guy, I'm like,
Hello,
listen.
Sony help. How are you doing?
Yeah,
today, sir?
yeah. Actually, his name is Josh.
My name is Josh. How may I help you?
And I go to Josh and I say, listen, Josh, hypothetically, if I were to buy a 44BC and plug it into a DC78 power cylinder, I would be making a device that is the same functionality as the 44B, right? And he says, yes, of course, because it's the same thing, just it's meant to be unplugged. But it's the exact same thing. It's like, okay, well, great. So, can I buy 66 BCs and plug them into the DC78? Because you're like everybody online is inconsistent, and your technical manual is inconsistent because it says it doesn't mention the 66 BC specifically, but it does say everything that uses the Sony Hi-Res plug. But these things aren't necessarily called Sony Hi-Res plugs, even though they're clearly Sony Hi-Res plugs, because you keep changing the name of what the Hi-Res plug is called. And Josh is like, oh yeah, I see your point. I don't know about that. He doesn't fucking know.
Dev,
So
you're the king of autism.
he doesn't know. So I ask him, and he said, well, he's a technical help guy, and he says, yeah, no one's ever asked this question before. And I'm like, no one's ever asked if this connector goes into this product where it kind of advertises that it does and it kind of advertises that it doesn't. And he's like, no one ever asked me that before. Usually when people buy the 66BC, they buy it to use with wireless battery packs. And I mean, like, technically it should work with the DC78, but we've never tested it before. And I'm like, you never like taken one off the shelf and plugged into the other one?
No, Dev. He's a guy with he's an IT. He's a guy with probably the comp sci degree.
Well, no.
That just works the phones.
Well, no, because no, hear me out, because he says like, yeah, we've plugged in the 77 BC into the DC78. We plugged in the 44 into the DC78. We just never thought to try the 66. And it's like, why not? He's like, well, I don't know.
Did he have an Indian accent?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So he was probably just.
But he was just like, it was like he almost seemed like he had discovered when I brought it up. It seemed like he had discovered a new idea. He was like, oh, we could plug it in and try. I haven't thought of that before. It's like, you haven't thought of that before?
Oh my God, my niche thing that no one uses. How dare you not test it for me?
Well, you think that you would test all the various things that your company fucking manufactures.
It's probably one of those things that's so barely listed and so under the rug that they don't give a shit.
So he says to me, listen, I'd love to test it out for you, but like I'm looking over at my shelf right now, and there's 77 BCs right there. There's 44. There's no 66s. So I can't even try it for you right now. And I was like, you don't even have the thing? It's like, no, we don't really make that money out of them. We don't keep them around for testing purposes because no one usually uses them. Because like I said, unidirectional lav mics are very limited use. We need them, but like usually people just get omnidirectional ones.
They're giving TED Talks.
All right? Yeah. It's a rare SKU. Yes, exactly. And he says like, well, it should work, but I can't tell you if it will or not. And I'm just like, do I get a refund if it doesn't? And he's just like, no.
Welcome to Sony. Our VP got arrested for trying to diddling a 14-year-old.
And I'm just like, oh, all right.
You realize that company has zero integrity. Like, why can't you just pick another company? Oh, wait, you found another one.
Actually, there's actually not that many manufacturers of high quality unidirectional lav mics. There's not that many.
Just Sony, the pedo company.
Here's the thing. I've looked at local stores. Nobody sells it in our city. There's like 2 stores online that have them stocked, and they're both American. Asking about refund is peak male can. Dude, after this, I don't give a fuck. After this nonsense. Okay.
Wow. I think
in any case, I lucked out because it turns out that there is, in fact, a store in Illinois that is shutting down for good. They're going bankrupt, or maybe the guy's retiring, who knows? But they're closing the business down, and they're selling off all of their like store display stock or like overstock for really cheap. And so he's selling like 10 of the mics that I need for really cheap. Like half off. Sometimes even I think even more than half off, because these mics are between $300 and $500 depending where you buy them. He's selling them for $175 a pop, and they're better mics than these. And these cost $220. So I'm like, dude. So I messaged this guy, and it turns out the mics he's selling are just they're like they've been opened before because they're like store display stuff. So I might be able to get those. The only thing is I asked him if it has the windsock included, and he hasn't responded yet. And if he says yes, I will buy a bunch of them.
You can just get windsocks separately.
Yeah, but like windsock, again, this is a rare mic, and you can't just get man, I found like for $200 12 windsocks for this fucking mic because no one sells them. No one sells the windsocks because it's a rare mic. So I finally solved the problem, but it took me like 18 billion fucking hours to figure out all this shit. Christ. I'm so fucking angry.
I swear you chose this just so you could bitch about your technological problems. Because I asked Dev later on.
Oh, so hold on. People are saying buy boom mics. No, because then you hear the TV. The point is that this
It's not. Yeah.
will not pick up the TV.
We have to be able to hear the game to some extent.
And so it doesn't like echo from the TV into my mic and then back over to you guys.
Because having edited this stuff before and having dealing with echo and having
we've used boom mics. They don't work for this show.
Awful.
Simple as that.
Awful.
Thank you for the subs, Cecil Wayback Gaming Machine. Appreciate it.
Fuck.
Dude, you get a reward in 36 minutes.
Yeah, death. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, dude. When I get the unidirectional mics, the 66Bs, I'm just going to be like, okay, since no one's ever fucking documented this, here's a big breakdown and review of it, because holy shit. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I'm going through ever again.
Devo tech tips.
Devo fucking tech tips. All right, guys. Next episode, we'll actually have fun.
Oh, thank God.